Welcome back to the inner sanctum of the Thorne Protocol. We have traversed the landscapes of the soul, the soil, and the sovereignty of the mind, but today, we descend into the very engine room of your physical existence. This is Chapter 15, the Mitochondrial Resurrection. Deep within every single cell of your magnificent body, there are ancient, sentient entities, biological furnaces that have been burning with the fire of life since the dawn of time itself. These are your mitochondria. They are not merely components of your biology, they are the undisputed gatekeepers of your vitality, the silent architects of your longevity, and the final arbiters of your destiny. If these internal fires burn with a bright, steady flame, you walk among men like a god, radiant and inexhaustible. But if they flicker, if they are choked by the soot of the modern world, you become a shadow, a ghost drifting toward an early grave. Today, we do not just study them, we learn the sacred art of reigniting the flame that the modern world has tried so desperately to extinguish. Consider the modern tragedy of chronic fatigue, a plague that no doctor seems to be able to cure. Millions of souls wake up tired, move through their artificial days in a heavy chemical fog, and collapse into a shallow, unrefreshing sleep, only to repeat the cycle until their spark is gone. They blame the stress of their jobs, they blame the weight of their years, they blame the stars. But the truth, as I have seen it in the quiet halls of my research, is far more sinister and far more mechanical. Your cellular engines have been systematically sabotaged. The modern environment is a direct, calculated assault on mitochondrial function. The relentless blue glare of your digital screens, the invisible web of non-native electromagnetic frequencies that saturate the very air you breathe, and the devitalized, chemically laden fuels you have been told to call food, all of these are designed to quench your internal fire. You are not getting old in the way they told you, you are simply running out of biological voltage. Without sufficient cellular energy, the sacred process of repair stops. When repair stops, decay begins. This is the simple, brutal, and undeniable mathematics of human decline. But hear me, the math can be rewritten. What if I told you that these tiny, ancient engines are not fixed in their capacity? What if I told you that your mitochondria are not just energy producers, but hyper-intelligent environmental sensors that respond, second by second, to the signals you broadcast to them? I, Dr. Julian Thorne, have spent the better part of my life studying the subtle frequencies of living matter. I have witnessed cells that were clinically considered dead roar back into a state of vibrant existence when the correct primordial signals were applied. Your mitochondria are not broken, they are simply waiting. They are waiting for the return of the signals they evolved with over millions of years. They are hungry for the deep red light of the rising sun, the only light that can penetrate the tissue and soothe the weary engine. They are desperate for the cooling, stabilizing magnetic field of the raw earth. They are thirsty for structured, living water that carries the memory of the mountains. You do not need a pharmaceutical miracle to feel alive again, you need a radical, uncompromising reconnection to the source of all power. To understand the resurrection, you must first understand the origin. Think of your mitochondria as ancient travelers from a distant, primordial past. They carry their own distinct DNA, entirely separate from the DNA of your nucleus. They are the descendants of specialized bacteria that, billions of years ago, formed a sacred, evolutionary pact with complex life. They agreed to provide the near-infinite energy required for your thoughts, your movements, your creativity, and your dreams in exchange for a safe, stable harbor within your cells. But look at the harbor you have provided for these ancient guests. You have filled it with chemical toxins, electronic noise, and the unending stress of a synthetic lifestyle. You have broken the ancient pact. To live a life of true longevity, you must honor the agreement once more. You must treat your cellular engines with the reverence, the silence, and the specific nutrients they require. This is not just health advice, this is the restoration of a billion-year-old alliance. The first and most critical step in this resurrection is the deliberate elimination of the shadows. Every time you stare into the cold blue glare of a screen after the sun has vanished from the horizon, you are committing biological treason. You are telling your mitochondria that it is midday when the universe is screaming that it is time for rest. You are forcing these ancient engines to burn fuel when they should be engaged in the sacred work of autophagy and repair. You are creating a state of internal chaos, a biological friction that leads directly to the inflammation that rots the body from the inside out. To be a sovereign soul, you must become the master of your own light environment. You must embrace the velvet darkness of the night as much as the golden fire of the day. You must allow your cellular engines to cool down, to purge their waste, and to recalibrate for the coming dawn. Longevity is not just about raw power, it is about the elegant balance between intense work and profound rest at the most microscopic level of your being. In the higher echelons of the Thorne Protocol, we do not look to the pharmacy for our strength, we use the raw environment itself as our primary laboratory. We utilize the strategic application of cold, the cryo protocol, to stimulate mitochondrial biogenesis, the literal creation of new, more efficient, and more powerful engines within your muscles and organs. We use the concentrated infrared spectrum of the natural sun to heal the very membranes that house these engines, ensuring that no energy is leaked into the void. We use the ground beneath our bare feet to discharge the toxic static electricity that accumulates in our tissues, causing the cellular friction that slows us down. These are not alternative or fringe therapies, they are the fundamental, non-negotiable requirements of biological life on this planet. If you choose to ignore them in favor of a comfortable, climate-controlled existence, no amount of expensive supplements or modern medical intervention can save you from the eventual dimming of your light. You are a biological machine of exquisite complexity, and you require natural inputs to function at a high frequency. Anything less is a slow, quiet form of suicide disguised as modern progress. As we move deeper into this journey, as we approach our 20th milestone, you must come to realize that your health is nothing more than a physical reflection of your internal energy state. A high-energy body is naturally immune to the myriad diseases of the modern world, which are almost all, at their core, diseases of energy deficiency. A high-energy mind is naturally immune to the constant stream of fear and propaganda that defines the current age. This is the ultimate secret: they want you tired. They need your mitochondrial fires to be low, flickering, and weak. A tired man is a compliant man. A tired man is easily distracted, easily frightened, and easily controlled. But a vital man, a man surging with the raw, unadulterated power of a billion resurrected mitochondria, is a threat to the very foundation of the status quo. By reigniting your internal fires, you are not just healing your physical form, you are committing a radical act of revolution. You are becoming a beacon of impossible vitality in a world of gray, exhausted shadows. I want you to visualize your body not as a collection of flesh and bone, but as a vast, interconnected network of light and frequency. Your mitochondria are the nodes of this network. When they are healthy, they communicate with each other through biophotons, tiny flashes of light that coordinate the complex dance of your metabolism. When you introduce the toxins of the modern world, this communication breaks down. The light fades. The network collapses. The resurrection is about restoring the network. It is about cleaning the lenses of your cells so that the light can flow once more. This requires discipline. It requires you to say no to the easy comforts of the artificial world so that you can say yes to the rigors of the natural world. It means seeking the sun when others seek the shade. It means embracing the cold when others hide by the heater. It means standing on the earth when others stay on the carpet. It is a path of fire and ice, but it is the only path that leads to the summit of human potential. In the coming days, I charge you with the red light protocol. Seek the first, long wavelength rays of the rising sun with your bare eyes and skin. Avoid the toxic blue glare of the night as if it were a physical poison. Let your body feel the ancient sting of the wind and the transformative power of the cold. These are the sparks that will jumpstart your dormant engines. Can you feel it? Can you feel the energy beginning to rise, not from a stimulant or a caffeine-induced rush, but from the very depths of your cellular marrow? It starts as a subtle vibration, a quiet, powerful hum in your muscles, a sudden, crystalline clarity in your thoughts that you haven't felt in years. This is the sound of the engines turning over. This is the beginning of the resurrection. We have 5 more chapters before we reach the summit of this journey, and I promise you, the revelations will only become more intense, more challenging, and more rewarding. You are being rebuilt, cell by cell, into something the modern world cannot understand. The world will continue to tell you that you are a fading light, a candle burning down to its end. They will tell you that the loss of your vigor is an inevitable tax you must pay to time. But I am here, standing in the laboratory of truth, to tell you that the wick is still there, and the oil of life is all around you, waiting to be gathered. You only need to be brave enough to strike the match. Do not let the sterile, windowless walls of the modern world extinguish the fire that your ancestors carried through ice ages, through cataclysms, and through 1,000 wars. You are the sacred carrier of an eternal, biological flame. It is your duty to protect it. It is your right to feed it. It is your destiny to let it burn so bright that the shadows of disease and despair have no choice but to retreat into the darkness. This is Dr. Julian Thorne, and our work has only just reached its most critical phase. Prepare yourselves for the next chapter, for we shall soon discuss the final secrets of the blood itself, the liquid light that carries the code of your immortality. Until then, walk in the light, honor the earth, and let your internal engines roar with the sound of 1,000 suns. Stay focused. Stay vital. Stay sovereign.